chapter 5.
The king made a feast for 4,000 of his lord, and drank wine in presence of 1,000. While he tasted the wine, Belshazzar
gave the
commanded to bring the gold and silver vessels which his father Nebuchadnezzar had taken from the temple, which had been in Jerusalem. The king and his lords, his wives, and his concubines might drink from them. That they brought the gold vessels from the temple, the house of God, which had been in Jerusalem. And the king and his lords, his wives, and his concubines drank from them. They drank wine, and praised the gods of gold and silver, bronze and iron, wood and stone. In the same hour, the fingers of a man's hand appeared and worked opposite the lampstand on the plaster of the wall of the king's palace. And when the king saw the part of the hand that worked, then the king's countenance changed, and his thoughts troubled him. So that the joints of his hips were loosened, and his knees knocked against each other. The king cried aloud to bring in the astrologers, the Chaldeans, the soothsayers. The king spoke, saying to the wise men of Babylon, "Whoever reads this writing and tells me its interpretation shall be clothed with purple and have a chain of gold around his neck. He shall be the third ruler in the kingdom." Now all the king's wise men came, but they could not read the writing or make known to the king its interpretation. The king Belshazzar was greatly troubled. His countenance was changed, and his lords were astonished. The queen, because of the words of the king and his lords, came to the banquet hall. The queen spoke, saying, "O king, live forever. Do not let your thoughts trouble you, nor let your countenance change. There is a man in your kingdom, in whom is the spirit of the holy God. And in the days of your father, light and understanding and wisdom, like the wisdom of the gods, were found in him. And King Nebuchadnezzar, your father the king, made him chief of the magicians, astrologers, Chaldeans, and soothsayers, much as the excellent spirit, knowledge, understanding, interpreting dreams, solving riddles, and explaining enigmas were found in this Daniel. Belshazzar, now let Daniel be called, and he will give the interpretation. Then Daniel was brought in before the king. The king spoke and said to Daniel, "Are you that Daniel, who is one of the captives from Judah, whom my father king Judah? I've heard of you, that the Spirit of God is in you, and the light and understanding and excellent wisdom are found in you. Now the wise men, the astrologers, have been brought in before me, and they should raise this writing and make known to me its interpretation. But they could not give the interpretation of the thing. And I've heard of you, that you can give interpretations and explain enigmas.
Now, if you can read the writing
and make known to me its interpretation, you shall be clothed with purple, and have a chain of gold around your neck, and shall be third ruler in the kingdom." Then Daniel answered and said before the king, "Let your gifts be for yourself, and give your rewards to another. Yet I will read the writing to the king, and make known to him the interpretation. O king, the most high God gave Nebuchadnezzar your father the kingdom and majesty, glory and honor. And because of the majesty that gave him, all peoples, nations, languages trembled and feared before him. Whomever he wished, he executed. Whomever he wished, he kept alive. Whomever he wished, he set up. And whomever he wished, he put down. But when his heart was lifted up, and his spirit was hardened in pride, he was disposed from his kingly throne, and they took his glory from him. Then he was driven from the sons of men. His heart was made like the beasts, and his dwellings was like the wild donkeys. They fed him with grass like oxen, and his body was stamped with the dew of heaven, till he knew that Most High God rules in the kingdom of man, and appoints over it whomever he chooses. But you, his son, Belshazzar, have not humbled your heart, though you knew yourself up against the Lord of heaven. They have brought the vessels of his house before you, and you and your lords, your wives, and your concubines have drunk wine from them. And you have praised the gods of the silver and gold, bronze and iron, wood and stone, which do not see or hear or know, and the God who holds your breath in his hand and owns all your ways, you have not glorified. Then the fingers of the hand were sent from him, and this writing was written. And this is the inscription that was written. Mini, tekel, the first.
This is the interpretation
Of each word. Meaning, God has numbered your kingdom and finished it. Tekel, you have been weighed in their balances and found wanting. Perez, your kingdom has been divided and given to the Medes and Persians.
Then Belshazzar
gave the command, and they clothed Daniel with purple and put a chain of gold around his neck, made a proclamation that he should be third Lord of the kingdom. The very night, Belshazzar, king of the Chaldeans, was slain, and Darius the Medes received the kingdom, being about 62 years old.
Daniel, chapter 6.
It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 satraps to be over the 100th kingdom.
And over these,
3 governors, of whom Daniel was one. The satraps made account to them, so that the king was the numerous.
Then this Daniel distinguished himself above the governors
And satraps, because an excellent spirit was in him. And the king gave judge to setting him over the whole realm, so the governors and satraps, so to find some charge against Daniel concerning the kingdom. But they could find no charge or fault, because he was faithful, nor was there any error or fault found in him. Then this man said, We shall not find any charge against this Daniel, unless we find it against him concerning the law of his God. So these governors and satraps drowned before the king, and the King Darius lived forever. All the governors of the kingdom, and administrators and satraps, the counselors and advisors, have consulted together
to establish a royal statute
and make a firm decree. If ever petitions any god or man for 30 days, except you, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions. Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing, so that it cannot be changed, according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which does not alter. Therefore, King Darius signed the written decree. Now when Daniel knew was writing was signed, he went home, and in his upper room, with his windows open toward Jerusalem, he knelt down on his knees 3 times that day, and prayed and gave thanks before his God, as was his custom since early days. These men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his God. And they went before the king and spoke concerning the king's decree. Having not signed the decree, that every man who petitions any god or man within 30 days, except you, king, shall be cast into the den of lions. The king answered and said, The thing is true, according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which does not alter. And they answered and said before the king, that Daniel, who is one of the captives from Judah, does not show due regard for you, king, or for the decree you signed, but makes his petition 3 times a day. And the king, when he heard these words, was greatly displeased with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored till going down with the sun to deliver him. Then this man approached the king, and said to the king, No, king, that is the law of Medes and Persians, that no decree or statute which the king established may be changed. So the king gave the command, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. But the king spoke, saying to Daniel, Your God, whom you serve continually, he will deliver you. Then a stone was brought and laid on the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet ring, and with signets of his lords, in purpose concerning Daniel might not be changed. Now the king went to his palace, and spent the night fasting, and no magicians were brought before him. Also his sleep went from him. Then the king arose very early in the morning, and went into haste to the den of lions. When he came to them, he cried out with a lamenting voice to Daniel. The king spoke, saying to Daniel, Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to deliver you from the lions? Then Daniel said to the king, O king, live forever. My God sent his angel and shut the lion's mouth, so that they have not hurt me, because I was found innocent before him. And also, O king, I have done no wrong before you. Now the king was exceedingly glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no injury whatever was found on him, because he believed in his God. And the king gave the command, and they brought those men who accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions. Them, their children, their wives, and the lions overpowered them, and broke all their bones in pieces before they ever came to the bottom of the den. Then King Darius swore to all peoples, nations, languages that dwell in all the earth, peace be multiplied to you. I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom men must tremble and fear before the God of Daniel. For he is the living God, and steadfast forever. His kingdom is the one which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall endure to the end. He delivers and rescues, and he works signs and wonders in heaven and on earth, who has delivered Daniel from the power of the lions. So did Daniel prosper in the reign of Darius, and in the reign of Cyrus the Persian.
Daniel, chapter 7.
In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of this ahead. While on his bed, he wrote down the dream, telling the man facts. Daniel spoke, saying, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven were stirring up the great sea, and four great beasts came up from the sea, each different from the other. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. I watched till its wings were plucked off, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made to stand on 2 feet like a man, and a man's horn was given to him. And suddenly, the beast, a second, like a bear, it was raised up on one side, and had 3 ribs in its mouth between its teeth. And they said to its tree, Arise, devour much flesh. After this I looked, and there was another, like a leopard, which was on the back, 4 wings of a bird. The beast also had 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, exceedingly strong. It had huge iron teeth. It was devouring, breaking in pieces, and trampling the residue with its feet. It was different from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. I was considering the horns, and there was another horn, a little one, coming up among them, before whom 3 of the first horns were plucked out by the roots. And there, this horn, were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking pompous words. I watched till thrones were put in place, and the Ancient of Days was saved. His garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was like pure wool. His throne was a fiery flame, its wheels a burning fire. A fiery stream issued, and came forth from before him. 1,000 thousands ministered to him. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The court was seated, and the books were opened. I watched them because of the sound of the pompous words which the horns were speaking. I watched till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. As for the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. I was watching in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man, coming with the clouds of heaven. He came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. Then to him was given dominion, glory, and a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom the one which shall not be destroyed. I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit within my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. I came near to one of those who stood by, and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me, and made known to me the interpretation of these things. Those great beasts, which are four kings which arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall receive the kingdom, and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Then I wished to know the truth about the fourth beast, which was different from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, with its teeth of iron, and nails of bronze, which devoured, broke in pieces, and trampled the residue with its feet. And the 10 horns that were in its head, and the other horn which came up, before which prevailed. The horn which had eyes and a mouth, which spoke pompous words, whose appearance was greater than its fellows. I was watching, and the same horn was making war against the saints, and prevailing against them, until the Ancient of Days came, and the judgment was made in favor of the saints of the Most High. The time came for the saints to possess the kingdom. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be a fourth kingdom on earth, which shall be different from all other kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, trample it and break it in pieces. Then 10 thorns are the kings. He shall arise from his kingdom, and another shall rise after him.
He shall be different from the
The first one, and shall accuse 3 kings. He shall speak pompous words against the Most High, shall persecute the saints of the Most High, and shall intend to change times and law. Then the saints shall be given into his hand for time, and times and half a time. But the court shall be seated, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and destroy it forever. Then the kingdom and dominion, and the greatness of the kingdoms of the whole heaven, shall be given to the people, the saints of the Most High. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. This is the end of the account. As for me, Daniel, my thoughts greatly troubled me, that my countenance changed, but I kept the matter in my heart.
Daniel, chapter 8.
In the 3rd year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared to me, Daniel. After the one that appeared to me the first time, I saw it in the vision, and it so happened, while I was looking, that I was in Shushan, the citadel, which is in the province. And I saw in the vision that I was by the river Ulai. Then I lifted my eyes and saw, and there, standing beside the river, was a ram which had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher one came up last. I saw the ram pushing westward, northward, and southward, so that no animal could withstand him, nor was there any that could deliver from his hand, but he did according to his will, and became great. And I was considering, suddenly a male goat came from the west, across the surface of the whole earth, without touching the ground, and the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. Then he came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I had seen standing beside the river, and ran at him with furious power. And I saw him confronting the ram. He was moved with rage against him, attacked the ram, and broke his 2 horns. There was no power in the ram to withstand him, but he cast him down to the ground and trampled him, and there was one who could deliver the ram from his hand. Therefore, the man was very great. But when the king's throne, the large horn was broken, and in place of it, 4 notable ones came up toward the 4 winds of heaven, and out of both them, which were exceedingly great, toward the south, toward the east, and toward the glorious land. And he grew up to the host of heaven, and he cast down some of the hosts, and some of the stars to the ground, and trampled them. He even exalted himself as high as the prince of the hosts, and by him the daily sacrifices were taken away, and the place of the sanctuary was cast down. Because of the transgression, an army was given over to the horn to offer the daily sacrifices, and cast it down to the ground. He did all this and prospered. Then I heard the Holy One speaking, and another Holy One said to the servant who was speaking, how long will the vision be concerning the daily sacrifices and transgression of desolation, and the host to be trampled underfoot? And he said to me, for 2,300 days, then the sanctuary shall be cleansed. Then it happened, when I, Daniel, had seen the vision and was seeking the meaning, that suddenly there stood before me one having the appearance of a man, and I heard a man's voice between the banks of the Nile, who called and said, Gabriel, makes this man understand the vision. So he came near where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid and fell on my face. But he said to me, understand, son of man, that vision refers to the time of the end. Now, as he was speaking with me, I was in a deep sleep with my face to the ground. But he touched me and stood me upright, and he said, look, I am making known to you what shall happen in the latter time of the indignation. For at the appointed time, in the end shall be. The ram which you saw, having 2 horns, they are the kings of Media and Persia. And the male goat is the kingdom of Greece. The large horn that is between its eyes is the first king. As for the broken horn, and the horn that stood up in its place, 4 kingdoms shall arise out of the nation, but not with its power. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors have reached their fullness, a king shall arise, having fierce features, who understands sinister schemes. His power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. He shall destroy fearfully, and shall prosper and thrive. He shall destroy the mighty, and also the holy people. Through his cunning, he shall cause deceit to prosper under his rule, and he shall exalt himself in his heart. He shall destroy many in their prosperity. He shall even rise against the prince of princes. But it shall be broken without human means. And the vision of the evenings and mornings, which was told, is true. Therefore, seal up the vision, for it refers to many days in the future. And I, Daniel, fainted and was sick for days. Afterward, arose and went about the king's business. I was astonished by the vision, but no one understood it.
Daniel, chapter 9. In the first year of Darius,
The son of Ahasuerus, the lineage of the Medes, who was made king over the realm of the Chaldeans, in the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by the books of the number of the years, specified by the word of the Lord, through Jeremiah the prophet, that it would accomplish 70 years in the desolations of Jerusalem. Then I set my face toward the Lord God, to make requests by prayer and supplications, with fasting, sackcloth, and ashes. And I prayed to the Lord my God, and made confession, and said, O Lord, great and awesome God, who keeps his covenant and mercy with those who love him, and with those who keep his commandments. We have sinned and committed iniquity. We have done wickedly and rebelled, even by departing from your presence. Neither have we heeded your servants, the prophets, who spoke in your name to our kings and our princes, to our fathers and all the people of the land. O Lord, righteousness belongs to you, but to us shame of face, as it is this day, to the men of Judah, to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and all Israel, those near and those far off, all countries to which they have driven them, because of the unfaithfulness which they have committed against you. O Lord, to us belongs shame of face, to our kings, our princes, our fathers, because we have sinned against you. To the Lord our God belong mercy and forgiveness, though we have rebelled against him. We have not obeyed the voice of the Lord our God, walking his laws, which he set before us by his servants the prophets. All Israel has transgressed your law, and has departed so as not to obey your voice.
Therefore the curse and the oath written in the law of Moses,
the servant of God, have been poured out on us, because we have sinned against him. And he has confirmed his words, which he spoke against us and against our judges who judged us, by bringing upon us great disaster, where under the whole heaven such has never been done, as far as been done to Jerusalem. As it is written in the law of Moses, all the disaster has come upon us, Yet we have not made our prayer before the Lord our God. We might turn from iniquities and understand your truth. Therefore the Lord has kept the disaster in mind and brought it upon us. For the Lord our God is righteous in all the works which he does, though we have not obeyed his voice. And now, O Lord our God, who brought your people out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand, and made yourself a name, as it is this day, we have sinned. We have done wickedly. O Lord, according to all your righteousness, I pray, let your anger and your fury be turned away from your city Jerusalem, your holy mountain, because for our sins and for our iniquities of our fathers, Jerusalem and your people reproach to all those around us. Now therefore, our God, hear the prayer of your servant and his supplications, and for the Lord's sake, cause your face to shine on your sanctuary, which is desolate. O my God, incline your ear and hear. Open your eyes and see our desolations, and the city which is called by your name. For we do not present our supplications before you because of our righteous deeds, but because of your great mercies. O Lord, hear. O Lord, forgive. O Lord, listen and act. Do not delay for your own sake, my God, for your city and your people are called by your name. Now while I was sleeping, praying and confessing my sin and the sin of my people Israel, and presenting my supplication before the Lord God, the holy mountain of God. Yes, while I'm speaking in prayer, the man Gabriel, whom I seen in vision at the beginning, being cast flies, reached me about the time of the evening offering, and informed me, and talked with me, and said, O Daniel, I have now come forth to give you skill to understand. In the beginning of supplications, the command went out, and I have come to tell you, for you are greatly beloved. Therefore, consider the matter and understand the vision. 7 weeks are determined for the people and for your holy city, to finish the transgression, to make an end of sins, to make reconciliation for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal up vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the command to restore and build Jerusalem until Messiah the Prince, there shall be 7 weeks, and 62 weeks. The street shall be built again, and the wall, even in troublesome times. And after the 62 weeks, Messiah shall be cut off, but not for himself. And the people of the prince who is to come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. The end of it shall be with a flood, and to the end of the war, desolations are determined. Then he shall perform a covenant with many formerly in the middle of the way. He shall bring an end to sacrifice and offering.
And on the wing of abominations
Shall be one who makes desolate, even until the consummation which is determined is poured out on the desolates.
Daniel, chapter 10.
In the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a message was revealed to Daniel, whose name was called Belteshazzar. The message was true, and the appointed time was long, and he understood the message, and had understanding of the vision. In those days that I, Daniel, was mourning for 3 full weeks, I ate no pleasant food, no meat or wine came into my mouth, nor did I anoint myself at all.
So 3 whole weeks were fulfilled.
Now on the 24th day of the 1st month, as I was by the side of the great river, that is, the Tigris, I lifted my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose waist was girded with gold of Uphaz. His body was like beryl, his face like the appearance of lightning, his eyes like torches of fire, his arms and feet like brownish bronzy in color, and the sound of his words like the voice of a multitude. And I, Daniel, alone saw the vision, for the men who were with me did not see the vision, but a great terror fell upon them, so that they fled to hide themselves. Therefore I was left alone when I saw this great vision, and no strength remained in me, for my vigor was turned to frailty in me, and I restrained no strength. Yet I heard the sound of his voice. And while I heard the sound of his voice, I was in a deep sleep on my face, with my face to the ground. Suddenly, a hand touched me, which made me tremble on my knees and on the palms of my hands. And he said to me, O Daniel, man greatly beloved, understand the words that I speak to you, and stand upright, for I have now been sent to you. While he was speaking this word to me, I stood trembling. Then he said to me, Do not fear, Daniel, for from the first day that you set your heart to understand, and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come because of your words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia visited me. And behold, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, for I have not loved the kings of Persia. Now I have come to make you understand what will happen to your people in the latter days, for the vision refers to many days yet to come. When he had spoken such words to me, I turned my face toward the ground and became speechless, and suddenly one having the likeness of the sons of men touched my lips. Then I opened my mouth and spoke, saying to him who stood before me, My Lord, because of the vision my sorrows have all around me, I became strength. For how can the servant of my Lord talk in you? My Lord, for me, no strength remains in me now, nor is any breath left in me. Then again, the one having the likeness of a man touched me and strengthened me, and he said, O man, greatly beloved, fear not, peace be to you, be strong, yes, be strong. So when he spoke to me, I was strengthened, and said, Let my Lord speak, for you have strengthened me. Then he said, Do you know why I have come to you? And now I must return to fight with the prince of Persia. When I have gone forth, indeed, prince of Persia will come, for I will tell you what is noted in the scripture of the truth. No one upholds me against these, except Michael, your prince.
Daniel, chapter 11.
Also, in the first year of the Darius the Mede, even I, stood up to confront and strengthen him. And now I will tell you the truth. Behold, 3 more kings will arise in Persia, and the fourth shall be far richer than them all. By his strength, through his riches, he shall stir up all against the realm of Greece. Then a mighty king shall arise, who shall rule with great dominion, and to according to his will. And when he is arisen, his kingdom shall be broken up and divided toward the 4 winds of heaven, but not among his prosperity, nor according to his dominion with which he ruled, where his kingdom shall be uprooted, even for others beside these. Also the king of the south shall become strong, as well as one of his princes, and he shall gain power over him, and have dominion. His dominion shall be a great dominion, and at the end of some years they shall join forces, for the daughter of the king of the south shall go to the king of the north to make an agreement, but she shall not retain the power of her authority, and neither he nor his authority shall stand, but she shall be given up. And Lydia begot her, and Lydia strengthened her. But from the friendship of her roots, one shall arise in his place, who shall come with an army, enter the fortress of the king of the north, and deal with them and prevail. And he shall also carry their gods captive to Egypt, with their princes, and their precious articles of silver and gold. And he shall continue more years than the king of the north. Also the king of the north shall come to the kingdom of the king of the south, who shall return to his own land. However his sons shall stir up the strife, and assemble a multitude with great forces, and one shall certainly come overwhelm the pass through. And he shall return to his fortress, and stir up strife. And the king of the south shall be moved with rage, and go out and fight with him. With the king of the north, who shall muster a great multitude, but the multitude shall be given into the hand of his enemy. When he has taken away the multitude, his heart will be lifted up, and he will cast down tens of thousands. But he will not prevail, For the king of the north will return, and muster a multitude greater than the former. He shall certainly come at the end of some years with a great army and much equipment. Now in those times, many shall rise up against the king of the south. Also, violent men of your people shall exalt themselves in fulfillment of the vision. So the king of the north shall come and build a siege mound, and take a fortified city, and the forces of the south shall not withstand him. Even his choice troops shall have no strength to resist. But he who comes against him shall do according to his deed.
If no one shall stand
Against him, he shall stand in the glorious land with destruction in his power. He shall also set his face to enter with the strength of his whole kingdom, and upright ones with him. Thus shall he do. And he shall give him the daughter of women to destroy it, but she shall not stand with him, or before him. After this, he shall turn his face to the coastlands, and shall take many. But a ruler shall bring the reproach against him, and with the reproach removed, he shall turn back on him. Then he shall turn his face toward the fortress of his own land. But he shall stumble and fall, and not be found. There shall arise in his place one who imposes taxes on the glorious kingdom. But within a few days he shall be destroyed, but not in anger or in battle. And in his place shall arise a vile person, to whom but he shall come in peacefully, and seize the kingdom by intrigue, with the force of a flood. They shall be swept away from before him, and be broken, and also the prince of the covenant. And after the league is made with him, he shall act deceitfully, for he shall come up, and become strong with a small number of people. He shall enter peacefully, even into the richest places of the province, and he shall do what his fathers have not done, nor his fathers. He shall disperse among them the plunder, the spoil, and riches, and he shall devise his plans against those strongholds, but only for a time. He shall stir up his power and his courage against the king of the south with a great army, and the king of the south shall be stirred up to battle with a very great and mighty army. But he shall not stand, for they shall devise plans against him. Yes, those who eat of the portion of his delicacies shall destroy him. His army shall be swept away, and many shall fall down slain. Both these kings' herds shall be bent on evil, and they shall speak lies at the same table. But it shall not prosper, for the end shall still be at the appointed time. While returning to his land with great riches, his heart shall be moved against the holy covenant. So he shall do damage and return to his own land. At the appointed time, he shall return and go toward the south, but it shall not be like the former or the latter, for ships for Cyprus shall come against him. He shall be grieved, and return in rage against the holy covenant, and do damage. So he shall return, and show regard to those who forsake the holy covenant, and forces shall be mustered by him, and they shall defile the sanctuary fortress. Then they shall take away the daily sacrifices, and place there abomination of desolation. Those who do wickedly against the covenant, he shall correct with victory. But the people who know their God shall be strong, and carry out great exploits. And those of the people who understand shall instruct many. Yet for many days they shall fall by sword and flame, by captivity and plundering. Now when they fall, they shall be aided with a little help, but many shall join with them by intrigue. And some of those who understand shall fall, to refine them, purify them, and make them wise, until the time of the end, because it is still for the appointed time. Then the king shall do according to his will. He shall exalt and magnify himself above every god, shall speak blasphemies against the God of gods, and shall prosper till the wrath has been accomplished. For what has been determined shall be done. He shall regard neither the gods of his fathers, nor desire women, nor regard any god, for he shall exalt himself above them all. But in their place he shall honor a god of fortresses, and the god which his fathers did not know, he shall honor with gold and silver, with precious stones and pleasant things. Thus he shall act against the strongest foreign power, which he shall acknowledge and advance in glory, and he shall cause them to rule over many, and divide their land for gain. At the time of the end, the king of the south shall attack him, and the king of the north shall come against him like a whirlwind, with chariots, horsemen, and with ships, and he shall enter the countries, overwhelm them, and pass through. He shall also enter the glorious land, and many countries shall be overthrown. But these shall escape from his hand: Edom, Moab, and the prominent people of Ammon. He shall stretch out his hand against the countries, and the land of Egypt shall not escape. He shall have power over the treasures of gold and silver, and over all the precious things of Egypt. Also the Libyans, Ethiopians shall follow his heels. The news from the east, north shall trouble him. Therefore I shall go out with great fury to destroy and annihilate men.
And he shall plant the tents of his palace
between the seas and the glorious holy mountain. Yet he shall come to his end, and no one will help him.
Daniel, chapter 12.
At that time, Michael shall stand up, the great prince who stands watch over the sons of your people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that time. And at that time your people shall be delivered, every one who is found written in the book. And many of those who sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, some to shame and everlasting contempt. Those who are wise shall shine like the brightness of the firmament, and those who turn many to righteousness like the stars forever and ever. But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall run and to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Then I, Daniel, looked, and there stood the two others, one on his river bank, and the other on the river bank. And one said to the man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the river, How long shall the fulfillment of these wonders be? Then I heard a man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the river, leaning out his right hand and his left hand to heaven, and swore by him who lives forever, and it shall be for times, and a half a time, and when the power of the holy people has been completely shattered, all of these things shall be finished. Although I heard, I did not understand. Then I said, My Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, Go your way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end. Many shall be purified, made white, and refined, but the wicked shall do wickedly. And none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. And from the time that their sacrifice is taken away, and the abomination of desolation is set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Blessed is he who waits, and comes to the 1,335 days. But you, go your way till the end, for you shall rest, and will rise to your inheritance at the end of the days.
The book of Hosea, chapter 1.
The word of the Lord that came to Hosea, the son of Beeri, days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel, when the Lord began to speak by Hosea. The Lord said to Hosea, Go, take yourself a wife of harlotry, and children of harlotry, for the land has committed great harlotry by departing from the Lord. So he went and took over the daughter of Gibeon, and she conceived and bore him a son. Then the Lord said to him, Call his name Jezreel, for in a little while I will avenge the bloodshed of Jezreel on the house of Jehu, and bring an end to the kingdom of the house of Israel. It shall come to pass in the day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel. And she conceived again and bore a daughter. Then God said to him, Call her name Lo-Ruhamah, for I will no longer have mercy on the house of Israel. but I will utterly take them away. Yet I will have mercy on the house of Judah, will save them by the Lord their God, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword or battle, by horses or horsemen. Now when she had weaned Muhammad,
she conceived and
and bore a son, then God said, Call his name Lo-ammi, for you are not my people, and I will not be your God. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured or numbered. And it shall come to pass, in the place where it was said to them, You are not my people, there it shall be said to them, You are sons of the living God. Then the children of Judah and the children of Israel shall be gathered together, to appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of their land. For great will be the day of Jezreel.
Hosea chapter 2. Say to
To your brethren, my people, and to your sisters, mercy is shown. Bring charges against your mother. Bring charges, for she is not my wife, nor am I her husband. Let her put away her harlotries from her side, and her adulteries from her between her breasts. Strip her naked, and expose her, as in the day she was born, and make her like a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst. I will not have mercy on her children, for they are the children of a harlotry, for their mother has played their harlot. She who conceived them behaved shamefully, for she said, I will go after my lovers, who give me my bread and my water, my wool and my linen, my oil and my drink. Therefore, behold, I will hedge up your way with thorns, and wall her in, so that she cannot find her path. She will chase her lovers, but not overtake them. Yes, she will seek them, but not find them. Then she will say, I'll go and return to my first husband, for then it was better for me than now. For she did not know that I give her grain, new wine, and oil, and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal. Therefore I will return and take away my grain in its time, and my new wine in its season, and will take back my wool and my linen, given to cover her nakedness. Now I will uncover her lewdness, the sight of her lovers, and no one shall deliver her from my hand. I will also cause all her mercies, her feast days, her new moons, her Sabbaths, all her appointed feasts. And I will destroy her vines and her fig trees, of which she has said, These are my wages, and my lovers have given me. So I will make them a forest, and the beasts of the field shall eat them. I will punish her for the days of the bells to which she burned incense. She decked herself with her earrings and jewelry, and went after her lovers, which before she forgot, says the Lord. Therefore, behold, I will allure her, will bring her into the wilderness, and speak comforting.
I will give her vineyards from there.
In the valley of Achor, as a door of hope, she shall sing there, as in the days of her youth, as in the day she came up from the land of Egypt. And it shall be in that day, says the Lord, that you will call me my husband, and no longer call me my master. For I will take from her mouth the names of the Baals, and they shall be remembered by their name no more. In that day I will make a covenant for them, with the beasts of the field, with the birds of the air, and with the creeping things of the ground. Bow and sword of battle I will shatter from the earth, to make them lie down safely. I will betroth you to me forever. Yes, I will betroth you to me, righteousness and justice, in loving kindness and mercy. I will betroth you to me in faithfulness, and you shall know the Lord. It shall come to pass in that day that I will answer, says the Lord. I will answer the heavens, and it shall answer the earth. The earth shall answer with grain, with new wine, and with oil. They shall answer Jezreel. Then I will sow her for myself in the earth, for I will have mercy on her, who had not obtained mercy. Then I will say to those who are not my people, you are my people. And they shall say, you are my God.
Hosea chapter 3.
Then the Lord said to me, go again, love the woman who is loved by your lover, and is committing adultery, just like the love of the Lord from the children of Israel, who looked to other gods and loved the raising cakes of the pagans. So I brought her for myself, for 15 shekels of silver, and 1½ homers of barley. And I said to her, you shall stay with me many days. You shall not play the harlot, nor shall you have a man. So too will I be towards you. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without king or prince, without sacrifice or sacred pillar, without ephod or teraphim. Afterward, the children of Israel shall return, and David their king. They shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter days.
Hosea chapter 4.
Hear the word of the Lord, you children of Israel, for the Lord brings a charge against the inhabitants of the land. There is no truth or mercy or knowledge of God in the land. By swearing in lying, killing and stealing, committing adultery, they break all restraint with bloodshed on bloodshed. Therefore the land will mourn, and everyone who dwells there will waste away. And the birds of the air, even the fish of the sea, will be taken away. Now let no man contend or rebuke another, for your people are like those who contend with the priest. Therefore you shall stumble in the day, the prophet also shall stumble with you in the night, and I will destroy your mother. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because you have rejected knowledge, I also will reject you from being praised from me. Because you have forgotten the law of your God, I also will forget your children. The more they increased, the more they sinned against me. I will change their glory into shame. They eat up the sin of my people. They set their heart on their iniquity, and it shall be like people, like priests. So I will punish them for their ways, and reward them for their deeds. For they shall eat, but not have enough. They shall commit harlotry, but not increase, because they have ceased obeying the Lord. Harlotry, wine, the new wine, enslave the herd. My people ask counsel from their wooden idols, and their step informs them. For the spirit of harlotry has caused them to stray, and gave them to play the harlot against the Lord. They offer sacrifice on the mountaintops, and burn incense on the hills, under oaks, poplars, because their shade is good. Therefore your daughters commit harlotry, and your brides commit adultery. I will not punish your daughters when they commit harlotry, nor your brides when they commit adultery. For the men themselves go out with harlots, and offer sacrifice with a ritual harlot. Therefore people who do not understand will be trampled. Though you, Israel, play the harlot, let not Judah offend. Do not come up to Gilgal, nor go up to Beth-aven, nor swear an oath, saying, as the Lord lives. For Israel is stubborn, like a stubborn calf. Now the Lord will let them forage like a lamb in an open country. Ephraim is joined to idols. Let him alone. Their drink is in rebellion. They commit harlotry continually. Her rulers dearly love dishonor. The wind has wrapped her up in its wings, and they shall be ashamed because of their sacrifices.
Hosea chapter 5.
Hear this, O priests. Take heed,
O
house of Israel. Give ear, O house of the king. For yours is the judgment, because you have been a snare to Mizpah, and a net spread on table. The reporters are deeply involved in slaughter. Though I rebuke them all, I know Ephraim, and Israel is not hidden from me. For now, O Ephraim, you commit harlotry. Israel is defiled. They do not direct their gaze toward turning to their God, for the spirit of harlotry is in their midst, and they do not know the Lord. The pride of Israel testifies to his face. Therefore Israel and Ephraim stumble in their iniquity. Judah also stumbles with them. With their flocks and herds they shall go to seek the Lord, but they will not find him. He has withdrawn himself from them. They have dealt treacherously with the Lord, for they have forgotten pagan children. Now a new moon shall devour them and their heritage. Blow the ram's horn in Gibeah, the trumpet in Ramah. Cry aloud at Beth-aven. Look behind you, O Benjamin. Ephraim shall be desolate in the day of rebuke. Among the tribes of Israel, I make known what is sure. The princes of Judah are like those who remove a landmark. I will pour out my wrath on them like water. Ephraim is oppressed and broken in judgment, because he willingly walked by human precept. Therefore I rebuke Ephraim like a moth, and into the house of Judah like rottenness. When Ephraim saw his sickness, and Judah saw his wound, then Ephraim went to Assyria, and sent to King Jared. Yet he cannot cure you, nor heal you for your wound, for I will be like a lion to Ephraim, and like a young lion to the house of Judah. I, even I, will carry them and go away. I will take them away, and no one shall rescue. I will return again to my place, till they acknowledge their offense. Then they will seek my face. In their affliction, they will earnestly seek me.
HOSEA chapter 6.
Come, and let us return to the Lord, for he has torn, but he will heal us. He has stricken, but he will bind us up. After 2 days, he will revive us. On the third day, he will raise us up, that we may live in his sight. Let us know. Let us pursue the knowledge of the Lord. His going forth is established as the morning. He will come to us like the rain, like the latter and the former rain to the earth. O Ephraim, what shall I do to you? O Judah, what shall I do to you? For your faithfulness like the morning cloud, and like the early dew, it goes away. Therefore I have hewn them by the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth. In your judgments are like light that goes forth. For I desire mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God more than burnt offerings. But like men they transgressed the covenant. There they dealt treacherously with me. Gilead is the city of evildoers, and defiled with blood. As bands of robbers lie in wait for a man, so the company of priests murder on the way to Shechem. Surely they commit lewdness. I have seen a horrible thing in the house of Israel. There is the harlotry of Ephraim. Israel is defiled. Also, O Judah, a harvest is appointed for you, when I return the captives of my people.
HOSEA chapter 7.
When I would have healed Israel, then the iniquity of Ephraim was uncovered, the wickedness of Samaria. For they have committed fraud, a thief comes in, a band of robbers takes spoil outside. They do not consider in their hearts, but remember all their wickedness. Now their own deeds have surrounded them. They are before my face. They make a king glad with their wickedness, and princes with their lies. They are all adulterers, like an oven heated by a baker. This is stirring the fire after kneading the dough, till it is leavened. In the day of our king, princes have made him sick, inflamed with wine. He stretched out his hand with scoffers. They prepare their heart like an oven, while they lie in wait. Their baker sleeps all night. In the morning it burns like a flaming fire. They are all hot, like an oven, and have devoured their judges. All their kings have fallen. None among them calls upon me. Ephraim has mixed himself among the peoples. Ephraim is a cake unturned. Aliens have devoured his strength, but he does not know it. Yes, gray hairs are here and there on him, yet he does not know it. And the pride of Israel testifies to his face. But they do not return to the Lord their God, nor seek him for all this. Ephraim also is like a silly dove, without sense. They call to Egypt, they go to Assyria. Wherever they go, I will spread my net on them. I will bring them down like the birds of the air. I will chastise them according to what their congregation has heard. Woe to them, for they have fled from me. Destruction to them, because they have transgressed against me. Though I redeemed them, yet they have spoken lies against me. They did not cry out to me with their hurt, but they wailed upon their beds. They assembled together for grain and new wine. They rebelled against me. Though I did suppliant and strengthened their arms, yet they devised evil against me. They return, but not to the Most High. They are like a treacherous bow. Their princes shall fall by the sword, or the cursings of their tongue. This shall be their derision in the land of Egypt.